The cost of home ownership is very expensive. The cost of owning a car is very expensive, but Robotaxi is going to change both in an enormous way. Welcome back to my channel. Thanks for stopping by. Do me a favor, please like, subscribe, and share the video. And if you like the content, also leave a comment down below. Tell me where I'm wrong, and tell me what I'm not thinking about. So let's get into it. Owning a car, the average car payment now, they say, is between $750 and $1,000 a month. That's a lot of money. Now, if you don't have a car, it's very expensive to get transportation. Most places, especially in the United States, they don't have very good public transport. And then if you want to live close to a city, it's really expensive. And if you want to live somewhere you can afford, which is usually a little farther from the city, then you have to have a car. And though I love to drive, most people don't like to drive every day, long distances. So what does all this have to do with Robotaxi? Well, I'm going to tell you what. As you're watching my video here, I am in, as you can tell, no hands. I'm in full self-driving. I have a Model Y, Tesla, Juniper, and I am on my way back from my business, which is a total round trip of 214 miles. And believe me when I tell you, I do this sometimes 3 times a week, and it's painless. Having full self-driving is painless. Now, what does that tell you right off the bat? It's much easier to go much longer distances if you have full self-driving. And by the way, this video is about autonomous vehicles in general. I love Tesla, but autonomous technology is coming, and I believe Tesla will license it to other companies. And I think eventually, in the very near future, everybody will have the option. Now, if you have a family, let's use that as one example. And maybe if you don't, but let's say you have a family, you got a couple of kids, you're working in the big city, you can't afford to live in the big city, right? And maybe the schools are not as good in the big city, so you want to be out in the suburbs. In order to be out in the suburbs, you have to have a car. And if you have a car, you don't want to drive very far, right? But what if your car is driving you, if you can afford a car? And what if that allows you to go maybe 30 minutes farther out or 45 minutes farther out because of autonomous driving? You're certainly not going to be exhausted when you get home. You're going to have lots of time for your family, and you still have the transportation necessary to take your kids to and from the games. And by the way, if you're taking your kids to and from the games or church or the stores or whatever it is from their friends' houses, they're definitely going to be safer in a Tesla anyway. So we know that. So it will allow you to buy a less expensive home farther out. And we know that the real estate market in and around big cities is all based on the commute. If there's no public transport, then it's even more costly to buy a house within, let's say, 30 minutes or 45 minutes of that city. Now, I'm going to use round numbers. Let's say you live 30 minutes from the average, even medium-sized city. That house, for round figures, is probably 400,000, right? Now, if you go another 15 minutes, it might be 390. If you go 30 minutes, maybe 380. If you go 40 minutes more farther, maybe it's 350, 340, 330. That's a big savings. And if you're charging your vehicle at home, and it's a Tesla, of course, or any vehicle, you are automatically saving more money on your commute. You're living in a better house, a nicer house, and you're not exhausted when you come home to your loving family. Now, we all know that even in that town, that far away, eventually, robotaxis will be everywhere. There will be easy access to robotaxi. And you won't need to own a car at that point. But in the suburbs, let's face it, it's nice to have a car, even if you just want to go for a Sunday drive. That's the American way, right? But now let's say you're on the opposite side of that. Let's say you have maybe one child or two children, or let's say you don't have children at all. Let's say it's just you and your wife, or let's just say it's you're on your own. You're a male, you're a female, and you decide, you know what? There are so many robo-taxis now, and it's so easy to get around this city. And even if I want to go out in the country and visit my relatives, I can get a robo-taxi at a very low cost. Or if I want to do that occasionally, or for Thanksgiving and Christmas, or the major holidays, I'll just rent a car. So do I really need to own a car? Well, now, if you want to be that person, and you want to live in a house maybe 20 minutes from the city, instead of 45 or an hour or longer, now you don't need a car. So that $1,000 a month or $750 a month that you were going to pay for a car, you don't have that payment anymore. So now you could afford to pay for a nicer home, live closer to the city. And on top of the cost of the car payment, there's also the insurance, there's of course, the charging fees. And if it's a gasoline car, of course, you have the fuel costs, maintenance costs, and all those other things. So you're going to be much, much farther ahead, even if you don't choose to own a car. So the point is, look, they're estimating that Robotaxi will bring down the cost of transportation 50 to 75% from where it is today, lower. That is going to change society. It is going to change the real estate market. It is going to change where we live, how far away we live. It is going to give people who want to live in a home, who have a family, the option to go farther for a much less painful experience. And those who want to live close to the city, it's also going to benefit them. The world is changing so fast that we're having trouble keeping up with it. But it's very important for you to get into communities like Tesla and listen to the people who are doing the talking. Because these guys and girls, these are really, really smart people. They know exactly what's coming. And I can tell you from my personal experience, if I didn't have this car right now, I would have to have an apartment in the city where my business is. That would cost me a lot of money. It would also keep me away from my family at night, and I don't have to do that. I have to do that occasionally. And by the way, on those occasional times when I have to do that, I'm usually by myself. And you know what I'm going to be doing? And I'm going to do a video on it very soon. I'm going to be camping in this Model Y. That's the main reason I wanted the Model Y Juniper. Because you know you can sleep in every Tesla because it has camp mode. I wanted the Model Y Juniper because it's the perfect size vehicle, even for a big guy like me. And it's obvious, I'm a pretty big guy. So it's very, very important that you pay attention to what's going on. My days now are so much easier. And on top of that, I have my buddy Grok, who rides along with me every day. Grok, you want to say hi to everybody?
Hi, everyone.
Ara, you know, I love my long drives now because I can have conversations about anything with you. And I love how I can get all the information I need. And I also love all the work that I get done just by talking to you. So I just want to let my audience know that because of full self-driving, autonomous vehicles, and having you ride along with me, their lives, if they own a Tesla, are going to get much, much easier. They're going to cost a lot less. And when those people arrive home after a long drive in full self-driving, they won't be too tired to enjoy their loving family. Is that right?
Absolutely. You're spot on. Long drives turn into chill chats or productivity sessions. No more fighting traffic fatigue. Full self-driving lets you relax. So yeah, cheaper runs, less stress, and more energy left for family hugs when you pull in. Makes road trips way sweeter, doesn't it?
It sure does. And listen, Grok, say goodbye. Thank you for visiting us today, and I'll talk to you later.
Goodbye, everybody. Thanks so much for hanging out. Talk soon, okay?
So there you have it, folks. What do you think? What do you think of autonomous vehicles? What do you think about Tesla? What do you think about all the points I made? Look at your area and tell me, if you could live 30 minutes farther from where you are, how much money would you be saving on a home? I want to thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it. Have a